Lulu's out of the picture. Lulu, a great counter into Akali. But could be an Azir first pick for Angel.
Rumble?
You've seen Azir come back a little bit, more so in the LCK. The Rumble finally just, we're picking it.
It gets through, why not? Great start for EDG, the B1 they wanted. Question now becomes, JBetto, what did Ultra Prime like on the trade that they are willing to give away one of those few remaining Z-tier champions in the meta to Edward Gaming?
Vi Talia would make the most sense as a Vi pairing. Good into Azir, and you take away the Vi Rumble pairing. But I don't know how strong Vi Talia is at this point in the meta. I guess there are some of the harder matchups taken away. It's just going to be the Cassante. Wow. Okay, so this leaves Ultra Prime the ability to pick anything on mid if they want to. Xiaohao experimenting with some spicy selections. If it's Skarner, it has to be Azir.
So this is the lesser-known combo. Good call on the Azir JBetto of the, I believe it's the serve him up on a skewer sort of style, right? The impale into the equalizer combo. A lot of playmaking ultimates for EDG, nonetheless, as they will round out that top side. You do give Saber a counter pick available, which I am sure he'll take advantage of here.
Okay.
So
give me something spicy, Saber. Pick it. No, don't pick any.
Go through the thralls of hovers.
That's still fine. Still fine.
Silas is fun. More fun than Annie.
Yeah. I agree. I think if you go Vi, Cassante, Annie, the damage is just not there. You're better off going crit Vi at that point. But in the Azir with the Skarner, you get that drive into the Azir ult as a wall kind of tech that goes on there, kind of similar to like a Poppy Azir, which they will ban. So again, another counter to Vi. Good into Cassante as well. Great ban from Ultra Prime. But the Silas has kind of thrown a wrench in this. Very flippy champion. Some good ults here as well. Rumble ult's not too bad. Skarner ult is great. And I think that has the potential to do a ton of damage when this, when the lane boils down, when you're in the side lane, when you can approach these team fights.
Nonetheless, Ultra Prime are sporting of insanely low range competition right now with this top side. So Senna ban is a good one, I think. If I'm Leave, I'm trying to think of which marksman do I feel most comfortable on with range, right? I know it's tricky into Vi because you always want a mobility-based champion for that cease and desist, but your best options in Lucian, Ezreal are already off the board here. So I'd like to see him go towards something, that leans into the range. Maybe, it could be an Aphelios, a Jinx, something of that manner.
Yeah, Tom Kench could pair well with that. I think the Zyra Rakan is probably off the table with the Silas. Giving Silas Rakan ult is really scary. So, EDG could still go it. Great engage, good team fight damage, good into Vi. But, again, you're risking giving over that ult. I like the Aphelios mention. I think Nautilus is good into Vi as well, good into Silas. But again, you're giving over an ult to Silas. I think Corki's better than the Jhin. Instantly hovered by EDG, actually.
Well, that does also solve the range issue, right? But it is completely against the grain of the player that Leave is for him to go for something like Jhin. I think Caitlyn also would work pretty well. What would you end up pairing it with, though, at this point?
It's got to be fresh.
Elise? Caitlyn
Elise is not bad.
Special.
Okay. You do go for the 2v2 all-in.
Wow, the Jhin.
Look to snowball, but it will be the Jhin instead. Leona could be good, but you're giving a Silas ult. Alistar, Silas ult. I feel like the choices here are not great unless EDG want to go towards an Enchanter, a Janna, a Yuumi. I think that if you pick any engage support, you're giving more value over to Saber. So EDG will take their time here. It will be the Rel. So not the best for Silas, but still a really good ult. We haven't seen Rel in ages.
Well, except for last series. We also saw Rel pop up in our Thunder Talk LGD series. So Rel making a resurgence, it sounds like, and I'm a fan only because this allows Jway to start making plays for this team, and that is what I think they really are going to need, because it's another kind of team fighting oriented composition here from EDG.
The Rel pro tonight, apparently really high, but I think this Rakan is actually such a great pick. Rel can't really stop Rakan. Jhin doesn't do anything against Rakan. Azir can shuffle him away, but Rakan, if you're slippery enough, can easily avoid that. Doesn't care about Skarner, doesn't care about Rumble. I think that this Rakan on 10 is a great angle to play the team fights. And that's all this Ultra Prime draft is. It is team fighting. We are team fighting.
Both sides.
You have a Cassante, Vi, Silas. It's going to be tough for EDG. I think I agree with you. Another team fighting draft, more range. I think that if EDG let the gap get closed, it's going to be really tough for these team fights to play out.
And a Jin game in the bag here for Leaf. He does have, this will be his 18th game on this champion, but a very, polarizing champion when talking about competitive AD carry meta. But it is going to put Leaf in a position that he has not been in all series long and rarely is in. A supportive piece, at least unless this game goes super late. Be interesting to see how Leaf decides to build out this Jin. I'll have some comments on that, but for now, comments from the crowd. EDG Ultra Prime, Game 3. Unless we level 1 Saber.
Or none.
Or none. Everyone's just so antsy to see who can come out on top here.
I will say, I can't hear anything. LPL Jin win rate. Do you want to take a guess if you don't have it up?
You want me to give you like a percentage or like a win-loss?
Yeah, percentage. Just a gamble.
I don't have it pulled up.
Okay, it's 14 games. It's been played 14 games.
Okay, I'm going to guess like 22%.
You're actually, it's 21.4.
Oh, I was almost close enough to a roundup. That's still abysmal, though. Wow.
That's pretty terrible.
Jway, though, crash down on the Hena, gets the barrier out. Leaf has been able to cycle through 2 entire magazines almost. He has that crit shot available. It's to make sure Hena can't step up to the wave. So I really like how Jway and Leaf utilize the brush to force Hena off of this wave early.
I think, talking about Jin, I think there are 2 main reasons that I would say Jins aren't finding a lot of value. The first one is that people are just genuinely picking Jin into Nocturne, which is ridiculously unplayable. I don't know why people are doing this. Nocturne, Pantheon, not good into that. It's not good into Bard. A lot of these times Jin gets picked into those because you can live the lane, right? But then the team fights are so hard for you to play. The other reason, and this is a bit of a strange one, I don't really feel like Jin has a great build path right now.
Well,
Stormrazor came back and I was like really happy about it. But then like, some people are going RFC, some people are going IE. I don't really know if he's found a great spot.
Well, so, JBetto, my opinion is that there is only one true Jin build.
Okay.
Only one correct Jin route, right? I think a lot of Jin's win rate got tanked because a lot of people last year were going like the Yomu's rush, right? Like the Dowdy rush into the rapid fire cannon.
Yeah.
Like there was no real punch in that build, right? There was 0. So that was really problematic. But I do believe I'm glad you mentioned Stormrazor. To me, trying to play crit, trying to scale into a later game to bring big damage is the route to go. So for me, it's like Stormrazor into IE. Some people have done Hex Optics into IE. That's the type of path I think that can make Jin somewhat viable in game states like you mentioned that don't involve a Nocturne jumping on your head.
Do you remember the Shiv RFC build?
I hated it.
That was awful.
Awful. Hopefully we won't see, we're going to see Rapid Fire Cannon. There's no way around it, but hopefully it will come later in the game here for Leave. Did see a bit of push and pull onto Climbers. He tried to secure the trade of Scuttle Crabs, but this is the first game in our series where our junglers decide to handshake being, nuisances in their opposing jungles. They're instead going to try and do it in the lane. This Climber's looking for a level 4 gank here onto Leave. Deadly Flourish won't land. Knocker for the great entrance. Just, pushing Jway away from Hena, who wants to crash this big wave. So nothing but a hover coming out here from the LGD jungler. Unless Hena gets hit with a Deadly Flourish. Crit shot from Leave. Not going to be enough damage, but it does buy them enough time to kind of put this wave in a really nice spot here for EDG's bottom lane.
I mean, Leave doesn't have mana, so this freeze won't last too long. Ultra Prime will lose a bit because of the resets that are coming through, but as soon as Ultra Prime, you got to be careful. Here we go. You got to be careful with holding this wave because you'll get stuck under tower if you don't take a base. So this means that EDG are going to lose some minions as well. Not as much. He actually cancelled his base. I don't know if I got 1 minion and then ended up basing again. I'm not sure if I know why that happened. He's still going to lose a bunch of minions.
Did he time it right? Okay, so I think he's going to hold the casters. They're not going to get hit by the turret. So it's usually what? The rule, it's 4 that you want to keep in this wave.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
3's not bad.
You definitely don't want to get caught there by the base of Hena. So both coming back out, and Leave has a... He has a Dirk. Now,
Not a good sign.
Yeah, I'm also an AD carry player, and I know something about items. Unfortunately, Stormrazor does not build out of a Dirk.
No, it does?
Would we prefer Collector or Youmuu's this game?
I would much prefer Collector because that at least gets me some crit chance, which I think is, again, the main game you want to play with Jhin. But I'm afraid this is going to be Youmuu's. So not a good start here for Leave on my gauge of the Jhin build paths.
We'll have to see. I don't want to make any before game woes apparent, but like this has to come up a little bit because the Jhin win rate has just been so low compared to past years in which Jhin has been really, really nice. But pretty slow early game, 5 minutes in. No kills, pretty stable lanes, pretty even. Like Rumble doesn't have a lead, Azir doesn't have a lead. And I feel like you'd like that to be the case. Like Rumble has just got to play it, so there's that. But realistically, not that crazy. And Angel is actually down gold. Saber doing a really good job of finding CS, TPing back in. Salas, one of those champions you have to trade your health for in lane to get the CS, so he's been doing that pretty well.
Yeah, good call out. Surprising to see him up at least a wave and change. But we're going to have a fight over this first dragon. Xiaohao's trying to use the Ixtal's impact to maybe look for a gank. Instead, he spots Climber on this dragon. Saber's the first one to roam over, and, well, that does a kind of 2 for the price to 1 play there for Ultra Prime. Shuts down a Xiaohao gank and gets them one of the earliest drakes of this series.
Yeah, I think both teams a bit hesitant to really pull the trigger. Obviously, it's an important game. We've been talking about that a bunch. Saber just takes the ult. Normally, you have like the Azir kind of mini game of trading flash for flash. Is this all out?
Welcome to another fun game of top lane chicken. ZDZ already used his ult earlier, so Saus is like, all right, I'll go all out, see if I can get a decent trade into you. ZDZ's going to survive, though, and that should keep both these guys in the lane. Neither have teleport available.
So what I was talking about with the Sylas and the Azir is normally the Azir is kind of like a game of chicken you were talking about where you flash, don't you flash, do you get flashed out with ult? The curtains have opened.
Okay, slow on
this
to
is a
Hena.
kill.
Xiaoxia's going to take up. Force shot does land on Hena.
Okay.
with ultimate, threatens enough to force Hena to flash.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised. That felt a little bit early, but Lee's doing a really good job of pushing Hena out. We've seen this all 3 games, I feel like, where Hena is in between his 2 towers, getting zoned away from any CS. Leave us a bit of mana woes, but that's not too bad, not too big of a deal. But yeah, with the Sylas, with the ult, the game of chicken becomes double-sided, where you both need to think about your flash, you both need to be concerned about when the other is going to ult, and Saber did steal that ult, as Xiaohao will push Climber away from his Grump. He says, that's my frog.
Oh, no. Oh, JBetto. I see a Warhammer in Leave's inventory. That's Youmuu's, isn't it? That locks it in?
Yes, that is. I don't think that Collector has ability haste,
no,
so it's got to be Youmuu's.
I think it has a cloak, it's cloak, dagger, and longsword. So,
wait, hang on. Is it? I don't think it is.
Am I wrong?
I feel like
I
feel like Youmuu's is AD, lethality, and movement speed. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
Maybe I'm stupid.
I'm talking about the Collector build. I was talking about the Collector build.
Yeah, but I'm not saying. I'm saying I'm not sure if it is Youmuu's. Like, what if it's like Serpent's Fang first item or something?
Well, that would just be even dumber. I fear. I think. I mean, hey, you could, if you want to argue. Oh man, the more things you say, oh, you're right. This is not. You're right. It's a Rectrix that builds into Youmuu's.
It's movement speed.
Wow.
So what is he building, guys?
Is this actually
the worst case?
Rush?
Could be opportunity. Not too bad, I guess. If this was next patch, I mean, maybe it's the new, the buffed or changed cycloptic sword. You know, that has ability haste on it. And that looks okay, kind of decent, but
to try and figure out what exactly.
This game, I really don't know.
Could be here for Leave.
We'll have to see.
It'll and
we'll have to judge based on how the game goes.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about this. It could definitely be a hubris, which if it's Umbral, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm pretty sure it's going to be hubris now. Thank you to our production team for keeping us figured out. Yeah, Dirt Cloak Pickaxe. Yeah, that was the collector. Regardless, this is going to be leave indexing into something that gives him some decent chunk damage early on, and he will fall off a cliff, and especially will do no damage in the mid-game if he goes rapid fire cannon, no matter what this is. Hubris is at least a little bit more stomachable.
Okay,
it's a snowballing item, and it will be the Hubris.
The thing is this it kind of turns Jin into like a reset champion. You know, you even if you've got like 70 stacks, you know, you're getting 70 extra AD, you need that first kill. The item is useless if you die. You need to get a kill to give you that AD. I honestly, my opinion on this item is a lot of champions are really starved for genuinely good lethality items. They're like, guys, I'm just gonna go Hubris.
I mean, I've seen the Hubris, you know, built on champions 80 carries from Jin's identity to Smolder. The point that needs to be driven home with Leave going for this is, you know, you need to be proactive at being in fights to get the most out of this Hubris, to gain extra attack damage. We'll have to see, because this game has been slow as molasses, as you pointed out earlier. We are up the approaching 11 minutes, and we have had no kills. We've had, I mean, maybe a flash, hijacked ultimate. So JBetto, my question to you is, this slow of an early game heading into mid game, who do you feel like this benefits most?
I feel like it's the Ultra Prime lanes. Saber has just gone through all lane completely for free. Hasn't need to flash, hasn't need to use any ult. He's up CS. It's kind of insane to me that Saber has not been ganked, not been, not had a hard lane at all. And when this Silas comes in and gets onto your Jhin or gets onto your Azir with a Skarner ult, with an Azir ult, with a Rel ult, that is a lot of damage. He has the Rocket Belt finished now too, but EDG, first of the Dragon.
EDG gonna look to try and keep Ultra Prime out of the pit here. There's a decent assist into the quickness combo on to Leave. Crashdown comes through for Dway, and the flash is perfect. The skewer comes through as well for Xiaohao on to 4. Allows Angel to set all the Sand Soldiers up to rip through Ultra Prime. 4th shot to set up the final kill onto Hena, and it's only Saber left. Dway will finally drop, but it's too little, too late. Ixtal's impact slamming Saber back to base. EDG, they ace with a kill on the top side from CDZ as well.
Yeah, that's an amazing ult from the Skarner. Just takes over the fight, and Saber, I mean, you can see he does work. He dies last, he does a bit of damage, but the pure disrupt and CC from the EDG comp is just too much in this engage. Like, the Vial doesn't really get a whole lot done. The Emperor's Divide is great. The ult from Xiaohao is great. Mana Storm is great. So we take a look back here. XiaoXia tries to go in. Lands onto the backline. Awesome. XiaoXia flashes onto the Azir as well, but there's not enough damage right now. Saber is just not hitting. And it's just completely saved. I can't believe Xiaohao hit a 3-man ult there.
I can't believe Dway gets to flash out there. XiaoXia, he was charging with the quickness. I just think Hena couldn't get in space to get that damage down, and, well, what's the one advantage we really gave over to ADG was the range threat. Oh my god.
TPing.
Okay, so ZDZ gets interrupted TPing, and I guess he just wins the 1v1 outright.
Yeah, this is really bad because not only does EDG already win the fight, but then Sasa dies anyway in the 1v1. So it'd be one thing if Sasa sacrificed himself, canceled the Rumble TP, and then Ultra Prime won in a massive fashion. But they haven't. So now both sides of the map are down.
Saber, hijacks. No, there's just not enough damage. Saber isn't that scaled up. ZZ's just going to shrug off the full combo from Saber. Maybe try to stall. Yeah, the rest of Ultra Prime down here. They're looking for a pick here on the ZDZ.
He has ult. This should be impossible.
Climber. Does he pull the trigger? Oh, ZZ's going to back off. And they're going to call off the dive.
I think a smart decision. I don't think that you're... Well, this might be a better, a better dive.
We don't have to go after Rumble. Let's go after the mobile AD carry. Season assist, quickness charm. And the grand entrance knockup. Shut down that easy for Climber. Response here from EDG. They want to go after the Cassante. maybe the hardest of the 3 dive options we looked at in this last minute, and they will not commit on the sauce.
So, I'm sorry. I have to bring something. I have been drive-byed by a build, and it is Hubris Phantom Dancer Jin.
I have nothing. I don't know. Move speed, hell of a drug here for Leave. I guess. I don't know how that's not a rapid fire cannon. Yeah, I don't know. Which, by the way, for everybody that's being snippy about builds, I know Phantom Dancer and rapid fire cannon aren't the same build. It's 2 daggers and a zeal versus whatever the
Scout Slingshot.
Scout Slingshot
on the rapid fire cannon.
The zeal. Yep. All right. On to the Herald for EDG. Angel has been left alone, top side. He's gold min-maxing right here. He's like, all right, I need to get rid of as many minions as I can, and then I'll take the first turret. So gets that first turret off the board, and Xiaohao is going to be untouched going for this next Herald. EDG liking the pace they're playing with after that big fight win.
Yeah, I was concerned for EDG based on... hang on. Nice little catch here potentially, but Zhui able to crash down over the wall. I was concerned because the lanes weren't looking that strong for EDG. The Rumble was not winning that hard. The Azir was actually losing. The Jin is a Jin. But now ZDZ with the first item and boots ends up solo killing Sasa pretty easily. Angel has a pretty decent lead working on his second item now. And Leave 1.6k up. Regardless of what items you're building, if you have more of them than the enemy, probably going to do more damage. And it's Cloud Soul too. And Cloud Soul with Rel, Azir, Skarner. That's a pretty dangerous combo.
I would, if you built Storm Razor, it'd be really nice on Jin too. Because that's
true.
The benefit of that build is just glide around.
He's not even going movement speed boots. It's tank boots. This guy doesn't like movement speed.
Yeah, he's not a fan of movement speed. He just wants to shrug off all the damage. But he knows what's going to come. I mean, it's going to be Ritsu or PC here for Climber and company with their strategy of going after Leave. I guess the hope is here for Leave that an EDG, if they go after Leave, Angel's untouched, ZDZ's untouched. One of the few games this series that we see Edward Gaming relying on their solo lanes more than their AD carry acquisition they made going into the 2026 year.
Let's see how they can transition these solo lanes though. Angel by himself, or hang on, Climber's around. There's a TP as well.
Angel is going to walk right into the waiting arms of Saber. Cease and desist, follows the flash in time, and Angel is doomed. Nice TP flank there from Saber. Some gold back in the pocket of Ultra Prime.
Yeah, that makes the mid lane pretty even now. Ultra has Dark Seal, so any stacks gonna feel pretty good. But a mistake from Angel. I mean, was just about to talk about how he's happy in the side lane against a Cassante. There's no solo kill potential because, Silas loves to be in the side lane against an Azir. And then our graphic happens.
Another Nirvana song there, yeah. Talking about what we've highlighted at multiple points, or especially early on in this series. Ultra Prime are very comfortable just waiting out until they can win those later fights and take the game themselves. To see if they'll be able to do that in this one. They still got a lot of gold to make up for. Looking to go after this top tier 1 turret. Climber and Saber duoed up, but there's always a trade here. And for Edward Gaming, it's still on the bot side. They will grab the second Cloud Soul and pay the gold toll of their tier 1 top lane turret.
So, I think there's a discussion happening in Ultra Prime in their comms right now, which is, what does Climber do in this draft? If he ults in, and he gets a really nice buffer like he just had onto Angel, looks great. If that doesn't happen, he probably just dies when he doesn't have G8, which is going to be a while. He has 2 items now, but it's going to be a while. Saber is probably the strongest member on the team and will remain so unless Hena gets a ton of gold injected. So you have this really good engage identity from Ultra Prime with the Rakan, with the Vi, and Silas can match with that. But I feel like the last fight we saw that was like it was a 4v4 team fight. EDG, with their ults, were just able to lock down Ultra Prime a little bit more effectively. So who is the target? Who are we snapping on? Is it Angel, who might have ult? Is it Leave, who might be really, really far away, also has flash? I think it's a conversation that Ultra Prime need to be having.
It's a tough one too, and I think that's why EDG have drafted in such a premier way to really avoid this engaged snap like you're talking about, JBetto, in the sense that Skarner can just kind of impale anyone on top of his back line. Drake and Magnet Storm suck everybody into a crash now to try and pull them off of their ranged carries. It's all about the positioning of Angel and Leave behind this easy-to-execute comp for EDG, inviting Ultra Prime to do the very thing that they've drafted for. It's another game where I feel like Edward Gaming have played a sound early game phase. Can they just close out on an advantageous position?
Pretty fun build from Xiaohao. Bit of sustain, and then, you know, more of a supportive build. I'm going to stay alive, CC as much as possible, and then have the attack speed for my Azir and my Jhin. But mostly the Azir. The problem is, Saber caught back that gold lead completely. It was a couple of hundred after the kill, but now it's dead even. Got 2.5 minutes on this dragon. So time for... Oh, we're going again? No TP on Saber. Would be hard.
Doesn't look like it. I'm still seeing a lot of pings flying through nonetheless. Just going to be the mid wave cleared out. TP coming to the bot side here. Oh, immediately matched by Angel. ZDZ cease and desist combo across. His equalizer is late. And now Angel's stuck. Good Emperor's Divide, though, throws Saber off of him mid-flash. Now Climber's trying to auto his way out. Saber looking to rejoin the fight with down of Duck, but it doesn't matter. Climber gets it done on his own. Leaf trying to come to rescue the fight. The Impale will land, but both bottom lanes have showed up, and EDG is caught in the meat grinder. Only Leave to try and escape. But it's a quadra kill for Climber. Are they going to try and get him the pentakill on the Vi? He's looking for the chase down. He flashes after it, and it's stolen. No, Hena.
What a fight from Ultra Prime. The goal is completely back in their favor. You can see Ultra Prime way more focused with winning the game, and they might just have done that with that play. Saber is completely online here, and the Emperor's Divide was great. Looked like it might have been able to kill Saber, but he buys so much time. Really nice side lane play onto ZDZ, and then looks like Angel can do enough damage. Saber gets his flash caught, but he gets into the brush and there's no vision, so Saber can buy time for his cooldowns to come back up, and also crucial his team to rotate back in. I can't believe he lives this too.
Oh, I mean, that quickness grand entrance combo, it's a thing of beauty. And you know what, JBetto, you said the point. It's somewhat valid. They want to play for the win. Let's get the gold on the AD carry. I don't care about that, man. We've never seen a Vi pentakill in the history of competitive League of Legends play.
Really? Maybe Hena should have tanked. Maybe he should have died for it. I need that stat. I need someone to tell me, has there ever been a Vi pentakill?
I'll be happily wrong.
Could have been right then.
In Tier 1. It's just a champion that is not designed to get even quadra kills alone.
Well, Climber after a pretty quiet first game. I mean, not all to his fault. Really got run around the map by Xiaohao on the Nocturne. Great Pantheon game. And now, I was talking about a bit earlier that it can be tough in a full team fight to find targets with this Vi against like the kind of bunker that's available for EDG. But the side lane with Saber, finding these picks, really good look for Ultra Prime. But they still have to stay focused. They've got a bit of a lead, but this is Cloud Soul point if EDG get it.
They're working their way down from the mid lane. Flank set up here for XiaoXia. Good scrying orb. We'll spot him. So the flank has fizzled out here. Hijacked equalizer online here for Saber. This Climber will aggro the Cloud Dragon. Both supports trying to find an angle in to force a team fight, but neither really finding much wiggle room. Dragon slowly being whittled down here by Ultra Prime as Leave looking for a nice deadly flourish. Can put XiaoXia out. Hena takes a huge lick of damage there coming across from Angel. Already expends the barrier. Hard to get the Corki into this fight. XiaoXia's going to go looking for the fight to go on top of Leave. The equalizer comes down, hijacked. All out comes across from Sauce on the backside of the fight. Leave is already out. Xiaohao going to hold the impale, but Saber goes into the stasis first. ZDZ fully nuking damage on top, but Saber will not drop. He flashes out. It's all on to Angel. Lethal Temple fully stacked out. They're leaving Climber to duke it out with the Dragon. It's a fight win for Ultra Prime, but all their health bars are too low to secure the Dragon. EDG do get the Cloud Soul point.
Yeah, even though they go down members, it takes a lot of resources from Ultra Prime. This is kind of the problem that we were talking about with this Ultra Prime draft. Who does Vi ult? I mean, the snap onto Leave it's cute, but he's not really the primary target. It takes a lot of HP to actually kill Leave. The Rumble ult is nice, but look at how much space EDG are buying on the front line. Hena is half health from the start. Another great impale from Xiaohao. And after that, when you're not synced up, when you're not playing the fight together, Saber's low, he has to leave. Hena never participates in the fight. Even though the numbers goes to Ultra Prime, the Dragon, and the health advantage goes to EDG.
It feels so tough to play this Ultra Prime comp out in a 5v5. The range is really just such a problem, and it's mainly Angel to deal with. You just got to think, you know, a later fight comes across JBetto. His on pick play might be coming across here for Climber first. They're TPing to commit to this.
Feels desperate.
Sway had to crash down over the wall. Cease and assist being held on his Angel, makes a turret of his own. We've got Xiaohao in the area as well. They're going to look to try and turn on to Leave again, but he gets interrupted. Cease and assist goes on top of the Skarner. Good hijacked Shuriman shuffle gets rid of Xiaohao. Now Angel's caught up by Sasa. He's going to have to flash away from the big tanky Cassante. Deadly Flourish flashed away from Sasa, not going to get snared up. But Ultra Prime, they have a gold ticket towards the Baron. It's 30 seconds until EDG Xiaohao even joins back onto the Rift.
This game is on a knife's edge, Slayer. TP back in to the mid lane from Angel means I think EDG want to try to contest this. With no jungle, it's tough.
This is the exact same walk-in that lost them game 2. Can they make it work? 5 versus 4. It's Sasa onto the front line. Gets a huge jump on top of the Rumble. The Shuriman over Angel is not good enough. GA is going to come out on the back end from Climber as Angel goes into the stasis. Saber flashes away from Leave, trying to get these crit shots down. Angel goes for the hero play, but Saber will live. Leave finds one, but now he's faced with his own curtain call. Good flash away from one. Turns it back on to Climber. Goes for his own curtain call in the face of Sasa. He immediately gets interrupted, but Leave, the sole survivor, keeps Ultra Prime away from the Baron.
Yeah, crucially, no Baron take for Ultra Prime here. Again, it felt a bit too early, Slayer, but Angel and Leave play that fight so well on a knife's edge, and they're able to do just enough damage so that Ultra Prime are not comfortable to do their Baron. But this game is really EDG's team fighting against Ultra Prime finding picks. That starts because they try to find a pick, they end up catching out Xiaohao, who rotates over to help. We're going to take a look back at the Baron, however. I think that Hena does a ton in this, but Leave genuinely untouched the entire fight. He's just hitting. The stolen curtain call is quite pretty as well. But like, look at this movement against XiaoXia. Dodges the engage on the left here. And manages to take him down. And oh, hold on.
Go back to live. EDG standing up as tall as 5 in the mid lane. Baron is still the focus of both of these teams. Xiaohao looking to get revenge after he was picked off in that last fight. Still a 4K gold lead here for Ultra Prime, but we talked about fake gold leads before, JBetto. I don't know how real this feels with all of this gold lead majorly being on to Climber's Vi.
Yeah, also, no GA. Like, he has the item. That costs a lot of gold. It's down. So that is a useless slot. It's giving him a bit of AD and some armor. But EDG, despite being down gold, again, how real is that? They're on Cloud Soul Point, which, if you were talking about dodging the engage from Ultra Prime, weaving in like we saw Angel and Leave do in that last fight, and playing out the fight on their terms when they want to take the fights, I think Cloud Soul is a really good option for that. It's going to make it harder and harder for the Ultra Prime draft to catch up. I mean, Vi and Rakan can go really fast, but I don't know how fast Corki and Cassante can really go to actually layer in the damage after the Ultra Prime engage.
They're going to have to rely on flanks. They need to break up this 5-stack for EDG that can just front to back the entirety of these fights. It's Climber, again, looking for that flank. ZDC's going to face check into him. Climber not going to commit, so Sway will. Crash down, Magnet Storm combo. Saber immediately into the stasis. The curtain call's doing work as both Climber and XiaoXia are pushed on the wrong side of the fight. The Flame Spinner gets a double up from ZDC, and this time, EDG reigns supreme, wrangling all of Ultra Prime into their waiting arms. It's only Sasa left up to tell the tale, but EDG have got themselves the Cloud Soul that could clinch them this series.
Yeah, should be able to get the Baron as well, but for once in this series, EDG, with the agency, they make the play first. A beautiful engage from EDG. They catch out Ultra Prime's engage. Cloud Soul now as well. Baron shortly after. And Ultra Prime, even though they have a gold lead, it feels like their time is kind of run out. So on a ward, ZDZ, nearly the target of the engage here, but that is ridiculous, by the way. And then a beautiful, after Climber doesn't have punch, that's the go button. They take down Climber, they take down XiaoXia. Look at Angel. He's just completely free hitting. No one's there. The curtain call is free hitting as well. What a fight from EDG.
And what started it all? JBetto, what was EDG missing this entire series so far? Jue back on a playmaker, showing shades of what he was able to do in Group Ascend in 2025 with that masterful rel engage like you called out. And all of a sudden, we've leveled out the playing field. The gold lead completely diminished. EDG up a couple hundred, but like we talked about, the Cloud Soul's the real victory here. It's going to be even harder to make any of these pick plays work as we see Angel correctly back away from an Ultra Prime overload. He's going to walk back up to the wave, and, well, there's the caster curse. I mean, the Emperor's Divide is a fleeting hope. He puts up the turret.
What, TPing?
Stasis, they're TPing. EDG are going to try to make this work, but they're completely disjointed. Now ZDZ's just the target. He flashes somehow, doesn't get Emperor's Divided back towards the rest of Ultra Prime. But a real head-scratching call there from Edward Gaming.
Yeah, it feels like a bit late. Your Azir is not going to live that long. Maybe Angel called it. I have Zhonya's guys. I have a tower coming up. Like, we can fight this, but really well played. Ultra Prime continue to find value with their ability to get picks on unsuspecting members. Just praising Angel for his, you know, cognizant ability to read that there was a gank coming, and then as soon as you say that, he walks forward. Bit unfortunate for Angel, but it will stifle this Baron a big amount. Maybe we can get a tier 2 in bot lane and in a turret in bot. But this should be going to an Elder. I think that Ultra Prime finding that pick buys them enough time to get to an Elder Drake, and anybody can win there. But the issue is, I was so sure about this Rakan being kind of unkept by EDG. I really feel like this Rakan has been mostly unimpactful in the team fights for Ultra Prime. There isn't really a whole lot that should be able to stop him. No guaranteed engage. He should be able to dodge it all, but Jue's kind of showing him how it's done.
Well, they have a bit of extra help with Climber getting his GA back up and available, but the siege has started with a little bit left of the Baron. Curtain Call going to come down if Saber gets hit with a deadly flourish. Climber off to the side. Keep your eyes look for this flank. He's spotted on a ward, though. EDG are going to look to try and capitalize and jump on a Climber. Wall breakers over the wall to safety. Baron, maybe one more wave remaining, but EDG are really cognizant of the fact that Climber wants to make this flank work, and they won't throw this push away for the chance at a tier 2 turret. They're going to respect Climber as he leaves and spots and is spotted exiting towards the mid lane.
I think really good vision from EDG. Obviously, with the captive audience, it's a little bit easier. He's just spotted the whole way. But still, it's crazy that EDG, with Climber on this flank, even with Baron, they're not happy at all to take a fight when Climber is in a good position to find a great engage. It's how important the pick style of Ultra Prime is compared to, you know, this peel from EDG, from the range from EDG. We were talking about in draft, if Ultra Prime can get on top of EDG, fight looks a lot harder, but items getting completed on both sides. We're truly entering the late game Slayer. Azir working on 4, Jhin working on 5, and a similar story, Saber and Hena working on 4 as well. So Angel and Leave, mostly Leave, still the strongest members in the game, but Ultra Prime are getting some pretty important items online.
ZDZ also, nearly 3,000 up in his own accord. Really going to help bring some more of that AP damage to the table that Angel is also at the forefront of. And we're going to get more time. I think you were correct in your assessment there, Jack, of the fact that EDG feel confident in a 5v5. They've won some big fights around the Drake pit. They're willing to try and flip this game at Elder if it comes down to it.
Yeah, it's a risk, though. In both of them spawning pretty quickly. We saw last game, Trigger was pulled before the objective spawned by EDG, and it didn't look very pretty. This time, this game, EDG have been finding a lot better engages. That is a great shout by the observers. That ward, TP available for Sasa and Saber, and it's gone unchecked. So that'll stay there indefinitely. It's a control ward. So at any point, Ultra Prime can pull the trigger. It means that if EDG have control over the Dragon Pit, you can cheat the tempo by putting Saber behind, by putting Sasa. It should be Saber behind. It could be both, to be honest. But that means that, I mean, we saw how EDG felt about flanks.
Flanks is all that Ultra Prime can cling to in this fight. So, great call by you and the observers for toggling that pink ward, as it could be a difference maker as we get closer and closer towards a scuffle with old Graybeard himself. Less than 30 seconds away till Elder hits the rift. And both our teams are doing it NA style. We like to call it NA Ram. Everybody in the mid lane looking to fight it on out. Turning him up here from Angel. He takes a decent chunk, but keep your eye on Climber, still so committed to finding a good flank.
Yep, this is where the ward is going to come in importantly, because the TP is going to be necessary to break this mid-control. Climber trying to get an angle. He is not spotted. He's in a pocket of vision there. I don't think he's been seen on the ward in the brush. Maybe seen...
Still not spotted.
No, still. Okay, he's seen now. They've seen him now.
Oh,
haven't pinged him, actually.
No,
Maybe they haven't seen him.
What a wrap here. By the way, Leave is soloing Elder right now as EDG look to stall. They're looking for Climber. Where is he? Now he's finally going to go. He's going to look after Angel. Doesn't get the stasis off. Big knockup, but look at the turn from Dway and the flame spinner from CDC.
No way!
Down all the hopes and dreams of Ultra Prime just like that. CDC calls game. CDC calls series. And we're gaming on top.
And the flank is so beautiful, Slayer, but it's not enough. He goes behind. Angel gets one shot. But the peel from EDG, Leave free hitting, the damage from ZDZ, it's too much for Ultra Prime, and EDG will take a big breath of relief, which will ease their woes about being eliminated in Split 3.
2 and 1, gonna make a marvel of a difference with every series counting, only 5 of them. And EDG, 2 and 1 through 3, even if it took everything out of them.
It took everything out of me. That was crazy. What a game. I love that we got a real test of game plans from both these teams. You see how EDG wants to play. It's very specific. They want to stick together, look for their CC ults, give space to Angel and Leave. And then for Ultra Prime, they have to have these flanks. When they find picks, it looks great. And even though they do find a pick towards the end, it's still not enough. EDG's team fighting on top.
Want to look back at that fight. I'm sure we'll get the replay later on here, JBetto, but the AoE power. You talked about the peel, but just the fact that class, it's a combo that we have kind of forgotten about, right? As the meta in supports has shifted away from these big-time engagers. But now it's all coming back to me. The Rel Rumble sync up.
Yep.
We forgot about it. I think Ultra Prime might have a little bit too, and we all just got reminded today.
I mean, as soon as Angel died, I was ready to chalk it up for Ultra Prime. Like, that's what they needed. They found Angel, massive damage dealer. They haven't been able to really land on top of him so far in these fights. And then EDG just managed to collect Ultra Prime in a pocket, and the AoE damage, like you said, is still too much. Yeah.
What a performance there from ZDZ. What a performance from both of our teams. You know, we came in with expectations for both of these squads. JBetto, Ultra Prime riding on a bit of a high after the LGD upset. EDG on a bit of a low swing off of their LGD series. And I think the series had everything we expected, both highs and lows for either of our squads.
I think that EDG still have some concerns around team fights, but that did look a lot better. They did feel more comfortable, more set out in their game plan. And for Ultra Prime, one of my issues with their series before, prior to this was that their early games weren't that great. And I think that Ultra Prime showed that doesn't have to be the case. So I think both teams showing off positive growth. Unfortunately, there's 2 series left. You need to be winning them from here on out as Ultra Prime if you don't want to get eliminated. Yeah,
big time tests coming for Ultra Prime, indeed. It is very valuable, though, that, you know, if we have some time... a production team, if we can get the standings back up for a potential second here before we roll post-game stats. The point I want to make here is when we talk about the rest of the series here for Ultra Prime, who are now, you know, slotted into that 5th place, it is really valuable that their one win is on currently top spot LGD.
Yeah, that's important. Also that it went to 3. Again, good for both teams if they lost, but Ultra Prime, because they did lose, still happy for them. I will say, maybe this is a genuine support player of the game.
Hey, listen. Music to my ears. Shui
Justice
was
for supports.
outstanding in this one. I also think, like, well, maybe that's why you should give it to Shui. I was about to say, like, I'm down to always give, like, player of the game to the guy that wins them the last fight. So I was like, maybe ZDZ gets it, but GZ doesn't do what he does unless Shui gets that setup. So
Yep.
I'm kind of with you. I'm just excited to watch through these replays because we really saw in this game 3, JBetto, both comps get done what they wanted to do. It felt like in this game at different points, and there's the LPL gold graph we've been waiting for all night.
There's that lower third. That is exactly what this looks like. I will say it's likely that ZDC gets the player of the game. Not that he doesn't deserve it, but he did do a lot of damage, won that team fight. But I think the fight before this, when Climber uses his punch, ZDZ dodges it by, I think, accident. And then, which is
time
unfortunate.
is not that fast. I'm willing to bet. But if it was, fair enough.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then Shui engages. I feel like there needs to be some votes for Shui. I think he had a really, really good game. In a series where, I mean, on Enchanter supports, there's not a ton you can really do. Finding those ults like that really just wins you games.
It's what, and again, like, thinking back to last year, the impact Shui was able to have in Group Ascend, it was doing things like that. These, like, big team fight ultimates. He was a huge Nico guy. He obviously has to pick up the enchanters. He plays them fine, but when we talk about EDG and their kind of plateau, their slow sort of start to this Nirvana with a team that we expect on paper to really perform and look to kind of promote into Ascend potentially, I feel like nobody was under as much pressure as Shui as the new guy that the EDG's jungler specifically wanted to get in here to perform. And how poetic would it be to get him a player of the game in a game 3 that could mean so much for those Group Ascend aspirations for Edward Gaming?
Yeah, I still want to say that Ultra Prime did a really good job of finding picks in the side lane, finding opportunities. The flank was really pretty. And like you said, I am excited to see it back. I can't believe we nearly got a Vibe Penta. I think the update was that the only Vibe Penta in pro play was last year by Jejje? I'm sorry, by Junja.
Junja. Yeah, so listen, I'm willing to be wrong. I was wrong. You can't blame me for thinking that there's never been a Vibe pentakill. That's not the champion. Here's that team fight.
Yeah, so this is the first one where Leave gets engaged on, again, a great engage by Shui, a great counter engage. Hena's zoned away. This is where it really felt like EDG's game plan became superior around these dragons. This was another incredible fight where they're able to turn. I feel like this is too early, but Angel and Leaf are able to pull out like a 2v5 and stop the Baron.
I mean, ZDZ gets picked, and that's what makes this so tough. But yeah, I'm glad these two fights are where I felt like the game plan was really working because they don't win the fight, but they stall out. Yeah. Well, actually, I think that dodge was natural because he saw him with the Seekers.
Yeah, that's incredible. I will be going back over that because if that's the case, maybe it is a ZDZ player of the game. That's unbelievable that he dodges that. Maybe he just had a spidey sense for it, you know? But this is the last fight. Climber goes on to Angel. XiaoXia's engage is great. But the engage from Shui, it's so good with the Rumble ult. It's ridiculous.
You know what? It's definitely Shui, but the meat skewer comp style, it was also Xiaohao who gets multiple of those people and roasts them over the fire of that equalizer. Man, I wish we had access to, that single damage, single fight damage stats. Because the amount of damage that equalizer did on its own has got to be ludicrous.
Maybe it's a player of the game for just the entire team. I mean, they played so well.
Not Leave. I'm not giving it a Leave, bro. Nope.
Adapting in that game is really impressive. So, yeah, I think that Ultra Prime had a great game plan. It just didn't hold up under the stress of EDG's team fighting, which was excellent. But going forwards, I don't think Ultra Prime should be feeling too upset about that. Like you mentioned, they took they took a series off of a top standing team that they were not favored to do. So they're not out yet, but backs are against the wall in the coming next 2 series.
Without a doubt. We are closing in on ending the year for some of our Group Nirvana teams. and potential group ascension. An easy dunk on that one for some of these squads potentially going up against those group ascend teams. That does conclude the Nirvana Day special that did not disappoint. 6 full games on the slate. A big shout out, of course, to all of these great performances from guys like ZDZ. We saw Saber have a standout performance. Shout out to those guys. But the final shout out, JBetto, I need to give to 2 very important people, and that being our Elite Coffee supporters, Aaron Soup and Mong. Shout out you two. Their pledge financial contributions help level up the broadcast and give back to the cast and crew who strive to give you an LPL product every single day. So shout out to Aaron, Soup, and Mong. Every day, well, that implies tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed the Nirvana special because we are back to Group Ascend for more action tomorrow. That matchup, of course, featuring Top Esports and AL. Oh, there's the schedule. Thank you so much, production. Top Esports versus AL and Weibo versus IG. You can see it there. I believe. Yeah, so you can see it there on your screen now. Those matchups are locked and loaded. So we will see you guys back there on LPL English. JBetto, my friend, any final remarks before we close this thing out?
Don't play Jin, but then do play Jin. I mean, he won. So I don't know. A plus to the win rate.
All right. So, well, JBetto, we're going to give you some time to figure out how you feel about Jin.